So my name is Tina Lamont, and presently I am the Assistant Principal Teaching, Learning and Strategic Planning at Pacific Hills. I also have a few other roles as well. One is the lead principal for the Pacific Group of Schools, and the other is the Director of the Excellence Centre. So 3 roles so far. So I came in 1992 as the Integration Coordinator, which meant that my job was to help students with disabilities integrate into the mainstream school. And that was the only job I had at that time. And it was a joyful but challenging position. I had the responsibility to look at students from K to 12. Some of you may know Patrick Chow. Patrick Chow was one of my students in the early integration program, and we worked with a disability service to try and get Patrick a position of employment, and that's why he's working in the school at the moment in the area of cleaning and maintenance. And I was doing that position for quite a while. I then was asked to be the Director of Special Programs, which looked after gifted and talented children and students with learning needs and English as a second language. And then my role changed again, and I became the Director of Training and Development, which means I did a lot of work in professional learning, which I love. And then Pacific Hills started to take on more schools. And the first school that we took on was a little school at Tweed Heads. It had a few issues and it was about to close down. And the request was there a school that would take on this little school so the students could finish their HSC? And of course, Dr. Boyce, the man that he is, said, yes, we'll take on that school. And so that became our first Pacific school, and we called it Pacific Coast Christian School. And so it was a very challenging school with a lot of behavioural issues, and I just took the challenge and became the principal of that school. I was there for 7 years, and I had the call to come back to Sydney. Dr. Boyce had a vision again for an excellence centre of professional learning. And would I take that on? Of course, Dr. Boyce. I love doing professional learning. And so I then became the Director of the Excellence Centre, which is looking at the professional learning of the teachers. And then at the same time, we needed to be looking at strategic planning, teaching and learning. And he also asked me, would I be the assistant principal, teaching, learning and strategic planning? And so I held 2 roles. I found it a privilege to be able to help staff, not just teaching staff, but all staff, to grow professionally. So at the moment, I have many people to help me in that area. And we've branched out not just to look at the professional learning of teachers, but also principals. We do events, we do conferences, all the time trying to inspire, motivate and encourage teachers in their professional learning as well as non-teachers as well. When I was at Pacific Coast, I remember saying to myself, there's no way you can say how great a mission trip is if you haven't been on one yourself. This is my reflection to myself. And so when it became available that I could go to Vietnam with Samaritan's Purse, I went. Oh my goodness, what an out of comfort zone experience it was for me. And did I learn a lot about myself? Yes. Did I learn a lot about mission? Yes. Did I learn what it was like to serve in another country? Yes. And do I think it's a transforming experience? Absolutely. And so I'm just converted to the fact that one of the best things we do in the Pacific Group of Schools is that we allow students to go out with other people to other parts of the world and be in service to Jesus. So what makes the Pacific Group of Schools so unique? I would have to say that it's probably Dr. Boyce. Dr. Boyce has been the person who has employed every single staff member in the Pacific Group. He's a prayerful man and he's a servant-hearted man. He will give of his time wherever he is. Anyone who wants to meet with him, he will see them. Anyone who wants to phone him, he will make time for them. He is a people person. But more than that, he gives out his love because he knows that he's loved by God. And that's his motivation. His whole motivation for what he does is because he loves God with all his heart. And so to the future. What is the future looking like for the Pacific Group of Schools? Absolutely amazing. That great hope I have is because the Pacific Group of Schools is built on love. The foundation is that God loves us. Are we growing as a group? Absolutely. Which tells me there is more to be done. Do I think we're going to take on more schools? Absolutely. Do I think more students? Absolutely. Christian schools are growing. They're growing at an amazing rate. And we will do that because this is what parents want. Parents want their children to have great character development. Knowledge will come and go, but it's the formation of the heart that is really important for life. And so yes, as a parent, that's what we want. As teachers, that's what we want. And as Christians, that's what we want. We want the children to love Jesus.